You know, we're going to be talking about a topic, ladies and gentlemen, titled What the Government Shutdown Tells Us About Our Dependence on the System. So we got to talk about. A lot of people are crashing out. A lot of people are showing their true colors. And we have to realize that society is in a mess right now. We see people on TikTok. They're concerned about next month. They're concerned about how they're going to eat. The Christian church is not doing anything about it. People are literally losing their minds right now. What's going on to everybody coming in? Be sure to double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up. Shout out to everybody coming in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, guys. SNAP benefits, EBT, WIC, food stamps, welfare is a topic that a lot of folk seem to be concerned about. And the truth that we have to understand is what the government shutdown tells us about our dependence on the system. Now, for the record, I'm not on any SNAP benefits or anything like that. I was raised on that as a kid, so I know about welfare, I know about struggle. At the same time, as a grown man who is 48 years young, I've learned that being self-sufficient is the best way to be in this world. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, they rely on the government to take care of them. And when you fall into that type of dependency, they control you. Not in the sense of they want to control you, you gave them that control. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, if the New World Order came in, one world government, the majority of people will take the mark of the beast if it means they got to eat. They will take the mark. When the pandemic happened and people had to take the shot or lose their job, I didn't take the shot, so I end up losing my job. And during that time, I was telling my coworkers, I feel like this whole pandemic thing was like one big test to see who would comply. And many of my coworkers, they took the shot willingly. Some took it before it was a mandate. They just felt they were doing the right thing. I and a couple of other workers, we didn't take it. And we ended up paying the price and lost a very, very good job, paying a heck of a lot of money. So fast forward today, we see that there's a lot of anti-Trump people out here. They hate the government, they hate Trump, they hate politics, they hate politicians. But they're crying about their benefit package. They're crying about how they're going to feed their kids. And they want people to feel sorry for them and so on and so forth. Now, before we continue, let me set the ground rules, right? Number one, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up because we can't do this without you guys' help. The only people that I feel should be receiving any sort of benefits from the federal government, and I have to make this very clear before we get into this so that we set the stage right, are the elderly. The elderly. those that can't work, the elderly, our disabled, people that are disabled that cannot go out and work. Even though you have some people that may be in a wheelchair and they still go to 9 to 5s. Shout out to you. And our veterans. Now, when I say veterans, I have to make this very clear. Because just because you're a veteran does not mean that you need that assistance. There are a lot of people that are veterans and they're doing very well. You see what I mean? So when I say veterans, I'm talking about our vets that are down and out. Not the ones that are investing money, those that are having businesses and doing this and doing that. No, not you. Let me also make this clear. There are working class people that go to a 9 to 5 and they still get SNAP benefits, EBT cards, and all this other stuff. They still get that even though they work. A lot of people were getting mad at me in my previous videos, and they were basically getting upset because they was like, you're saying that these welfare recipients are lazy and blah, blah, blah. And it was like, well, some of us actually go to 9 to 5s and work. And we don't appreciate you saying that we're lazy. Well, let me clarify a couple of things. Number one, if you're a working class person and you're going through the struggle and you pretty much decided, hey, I'm going to get on this program, not for a lifestyle, but because I just don't got it. I can't afford this. I can't afford that. I'm going to use this for a little bit to get me through. Then we're not talking about you because you actually go to work. You're a working class person. So if you felt some type of way due to my previous videos, then, charge it to the game. That's not an offense. We're talking about able-bodied adults who want to live at home on Section 8 while collecting the benefits from the government, child support, and various other monies from families and this one and that one. And then on top of that, to add insult to injury, some of these people do social media content. Some of these people are influencers on social media where they're getting a check from YouTube, they're getting a check from TikTok, a check from different sites. They don't pay no taxes on nothing that they get. They don't report none of this income to Uncle Sam. And they're still getting SNAP benefits. They're milking the system. They're taking advantage of the system. Those people need to be held accountable. And because of this lifestyle, people grown dependent on the federal government to provide for them to the point where a lot of people are crashing out. So let's make a couple of things very clear. If you're a working class person who have to go to a job and you just can't afford to buy food and you collect any sort of assistance from the federal government to sustain yourself as you go through the struggle, we're not trying to shame you. You're a working class person. I need for you to understand that. So don't misunderstand me when I'm communicating via this social media. If you are an able-bodied person who get up in the morning and you go to work and you just can't afford to live and you're collecting some sort of benefits, whether it's $300, $200, and it kind of get you through, meaning you're using cash out of pocket to buy food, but you just don't got enough, then by all means, if those programs are available, you're a taxpayer, right? So it's there for those purposes. My issue are able-bodied adults who don't want to work. They don't want to work, but they want a free ride. They don't deserve that. They don't deserve to get a free ride when you got to go to work. I've been in the 9 to 5 already. I already know about the struggles. So I need for you to understand that in order for you to even get these programs, they're going to look at how much money you make. So if you're at the 9 to 5 and you only make a certain amount of money a month and you go down to these places to get assistance, they're going to judge you based on your income. And if you're making a lot of money, they're not going to give you nothing anyway. So if you're able to even get any sort of benefits, it's because you met the criteria in terms of the threshold of how much money puts you in that bracket that says you qualify to receive these benefits. I'm not talking to you if you're that person. I'm talking about the person that don't even care about the people that got to go to work. The person who is a healthy, able body who refuse to get off their ASS and they want everybody else to give them a handout. I don't feel sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for people who want to go out here having all these kids that they can't afford, but they keep having baby after baby after baby, and then they want to blame me and shame you for why you don't support their kids eating. I don't care if your kids ain't eating. I don't care. You want to go out here and have all these kids knowing good and well you can't afford to take care of one. Common sense should have told you when you had the first child, you couldn't afford to take care of that baby. You didn't want to work it out with the baby daddy. You went and got a new man, had another baby, knowing good and well you cannot take care of these kids. Then you went and had another baby by another man. 3 men, 3 kids. Who's making these decisions? That's not my problem. So if you fall on hard time when the federal government crashes, you set yourself up for failure because you had no contingency plan in place to protect you and your kids in case the government crashed. You had no money saved. You're living a crazy lifestyle, living above your means, beyond your means. You don't know how to budget. You don't think about tomorrow. And you are wanting to cry and prepared to crash out. You got a bunch of people all over social media ready to risk it all and crash out over some food. And a lot of this is coming from the black community. Guys, you're making yourself look bad on social media. And I'm speaking to the majority of black folk who come on social media making these videos talking about, oh, I don't got no money for my EBT, but you're doing content. You're doing content on social media, which means you got time to make videos to crash out, but you don't got time to make content to earn money? Make that make sense. If you don't got no money to buy food, start pushing these videos and earn some money doing content. But no, you talking about how you're going to rob, you're going to steal and crash out in stores as if though Trump is just going to sit back and let that happen. Knowing good and well he's sending these troops to all these major cities. Knowing good and well a lot of minorities are being targeted here and there. Knowing good and well that the migrant crisis is all over the place and you're getting mixed mingled in that. And now you're painting this negative image of black people that we're just a bunch of savages and criminals who are hungry. So what if you ain't getting no SNAP benefits next month? Cancel Thanksgiving for next month, cancel Christmas for next month, and figure out a way of how to take care of you and your family. You know why you're going through this? Because you depend on the federal government. This government shutdown tells us about how dependent we are on the system. You depend on it for dear life. We seeing a woman in a one of those places where you get the benefits from, literally begging for her benefits. Let me put the tape up, guys. Give me a minute. Let me set this video up for you guys because it's sad, but there's a lot of things I got to cover in this because number one, I'm I'm concerned about the needy in terms of the elderly and the disabled and our veterans who are down and out, who suffer from different medical conditions, mental illness, all sorts of problems. They should be taken care of. And it's unfortunate that everybody got thrown into the pot all together. You understand? So don't misconstrue the things that I'm saying as if though I don't have no heart for the needy. I have a heart for the needy. I just don't have a heart for able-bodied people who are taking advantage of the system and they're milking the taxpayers while you working your ASS off every single day. They don't care about you. All they see is themselves benefiting. And I'm tired of that. And there needs to be new rules in place that can wean out the fraud and the people committing these crimes taking advantage of the system, because there are real people that are in need, real people. And they get overshadowed by all of these liars and fraudsters who are just out here milking the system. And I'm tired of it. And in order for you to make America great again, you're going to have to sometimes probably just shut down the whole system and start over. Just shut it down. Shut it down, start all over again. Because there's too many people taking advantage. You got entire families living a lifestyle on welfare for the rest of their lives. And guys, I grew up as a child on welfare in the hood. So I know all about this. I've seen generation after generation of family on welfare. And nobody want to get off. I broke that generational curse. I cut that dragon's head off and said, no, I'm going to take care of my family. I'm going to do what I got to do. Even if I got to go through the struggle, I'm going to go through. And I had to teach myself that I cannot be like my mama. I can't be like my grandma. I can't be like my aunties and them. I don't want to be like them. I don't want to follow that tradition. You understand? But we got too many people today that live on the system, and it's now to the point where if the government shut down, you shut down. So now you suffer. Look at this video with this woman. This is absolutely crazy. But let's check this thing out. Check this out.
Y'all gotta fix this now. I don't have nothing to do with that shutdown. I'm stressed out. I'm a single mama and I'm helping other people kids.
I know one motherfucking thing. If I go to sleep one night in the year 2025 and I wake up that next day in the year 2025 and it ain't no more food stamps in the world of the United States of the Americas and we got to eat rotel dip for Thanksgiving, bitch, I'm crashing out to the fullest extent of the goddamn law. Cause who ain't no fuck told y'all with our food stamp.
Y'all better lock your cars at night, lock your cars, lock your house up. If you're one of them people that just leave your car unlocked, parked in your driveway, you better lock it.
Government's starting to cut off food stamps and the internet is going nuts. You got to hear about what everybody's saying. People are crashing out. People are worried, and people are worried about going hungry. And we got to worry about people starting to break into stuff. So let's listen to some of these videos and let's get right to it. I want to know all your thoughts. Comments down below, what everybody's got to say. Let's go.
9 kids, 9 babies. And I want to know why they ain't put my food stuff on that car. Why? I done been waiting, I done did my application. And I got 3 handicapped babies. I need to know why my food stamp ain't on my car. This is not right, this ain't fair. I don't care about no shutdown or none of that. But I've been calm, I've been calling, everybody ignoring me. I done been here 3, 4, 5 times. I want to know why ain't my food stamps on my car. I got 9 days to feed.
This girl been waiting all this time.
Ma'am, I done been calling, I done been down here, and this is, I'm tired.
Sad.
I done been there and did all that, and they still ain't put my food stamps on because of this shutdown. This is not fair. I'm tired, I done did all that. Now I need to know what the supervisor or somebody, I need somebody to help me. I got 9 kids to feed. 9 kids. 4 of them ain't mine, I'm taking care of other people's kids. I'm old, I'm tired, I got arthritis. I'm tired of coming back and forth down here about my food stamp. I done had an appointment now, they told me my car money supposed to be on my car. It ain't on there yet. Y'all gotta fix this now. I don't have nothing to do with that shutdown. I'm stressed out. I'm a single mama and I'm helping other people kids. Now I need my steps. Now I ain't gonna keep going through this. I'm already going through a lot of things.
Definitely coming to
Okay, now here's my 5th time coming down. I had an interview and all. Now this ain't fair how y'all doing people. This ain't fair. I done been all right there. Y'all done did my interview and all, and I still ain't got my steps. Still ain't got my steps. Y'all done let them people shut down the government. Now they ain't gonna give me my steps.
That's so sad.
And I don't want to go to jail. Because that's where I'm going next when it comes to these babies. Now I gotta go steal and shit. Now I gotta go steal food to put in my house. Y'all ain't got no boxes of food here? Y'all ain't got no food to give me? Y'all don't have nothing to give me? Don't be recording me, ma'am. Don't be
Why you
recording
people
me.
place like that?
I don't record me.
Y'all better lock your cars at night, lock your cars, lock your house up. If you're one of them people that just leave your car unlocked, parked in your driveway, you better lock it. With the food stamps being gone and people not gonna have people gonna eat, okay? Nobody's just gonna, this is 2025, nobody's just not gonna eat, food stamps, I'm telling you right now, even with the government shutdown and the food stamps and stuff being gone for next month, and it's gonna affect everybody, there's about to be a lot of stuff going on, okay? I'm not even going to talk about it too much because, hey, you know what's about to happen. Lock your cars, lock them.
Now, think about this. You have black people saying to lock your cars. For what? You going to rob somebody? I want to know why white people not saying that. Why the white man is not saying, hey, lock your cars, close your doors. I'm about to rob your house. Why they're not saying that? Why are all these folks crashing out? Why all of these people are coming on social media to talk about this issue? It's because they're dependent upon the federal government. That's why.
Theory. Did you hear what's going on with Trump and them? Apparently they shut down November and December food stamp. I just got a note from them saying they gonna shut my food stamps. Ohio, you bet not. You bet not feed in that allegation. You better pay me my food stamps. I better get my food stamps. Let me not get no food stamps November and December. Free me. Get my commissary out, because I'm just taking up the stove and taking everything. Making my way downtown to the White.
You know, if the truth be told, guys, and I got to be honest with you, I believe that all the people that you see making these videos are not even on EBT. Because to be honest, people that are on it, they don't want nobody to know. Case in point, I don't know the guy's name, but he recently was on a podcast. He was supposed to be some baby daddy of some singer or something. I'm not sure if she's a singer or an actress. And she took custody of his daughter. And the dude was crying about having an EBT card. He's like, he get this SNAP stuff. He's on these benefit programs. And he threw the card down on the podcast. And he was so ashamed of people even knowing that he's on it. But yet, you got all these people making these videos. And it's hard to believe that these are actual real people that really have, I guess, a struggle going on. It's like most of these people are just doing this for content, if you really think about it. Now, some may be real. Some may be just saying, hey, this is the opportunity for me to make some money doing some content, because they take everything for a joke. Remember, social media have a lot of people that just do acting all day. So a lot of these videos, you got to take it with a grain of salt, because to be honest, if you really struggling, the last thing you do, you don't want nobody to know. Now, there are some people that's being real, but you got the real mixed in with actors, people that are fake, people that are just trying to troll, and it becomes very confusing. It's like when you're watching YouTube and they got an AI video of a tiger that run up to somebody's doorstep and a dog jump in the way to defend the old lady. You know that's fake. Ain't no way in the world a dog is going to stand up in front of a tiger and win. Let's get back to the content. Let's go.
I'm going to White House, quick, quick. I'm going to the White House, quick, quick. I'm going to the White House, so me.
If they're gonna cut off food stamps, bitch, 5-figure discount. What? What the fuck are y'all gonna do when they cut off food stamps? You are just so funny. The affirmation of your day is to mind your fucking business, sir, and go feed your kids and start creeping with your cousin and also sleeping with the neighbor's dog.
I tell you, people are mad, but here's what I don't understand. Why are they taking their frustrations out on everyday people in the supermarket and not the politicians that turn the stamps off? I mean, we've all allowed these politicians to go on too far, playing this game of political theater.
I disagree with him because, you know, he's making his money on social media. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of easy to say those things when you're making money. I feel that people are too dependent on the federal government, number one, and that's their issue. You cannot blame Trump or the federal government for why you ain't getting no money next month. If you want money, you got to figure out a way to get it. Now, again, why is it that the church, the Christian church, I'm calling you out, Creflo Dollar, I'm calling you out. Where you at? How come you ain't taking care of the needy, the elderly, the disabled? What is Creflo Dollar Ministries doing for the poor? What is TD Snakes doing for the needy? What is he doing? What are these churches doing for the poor? You got a church that just finished hustling a woman talking about bring $1,000 plus $1,000 down to the altar, and he rebuked her for that nonsense. Think about that. That's what these churches are for. They hustle the poor. How come they're not helping these people? People are too busy waiting for the government to get them a check. What about your family? Where your family at? Where your family at? See, we're in a mess because a lot of us, we don't even get along with our family. This is why we have to have contingency plans in place, emergency funds. We have to have stockpiles of various types of foods that could get us through a dark time. You know, my mama always told me, make sure you have some flour, make sure you have rice, make sure you have tuna fish, make sure you have these certain things in order to stay afloat. Just in case something happened, you can scrape some stuff together if there's no food. Y'all know how mama always been and grandma, they would scrape stuff together. There'd be no food in the house. Nothing's in the house. And they'll go in them cabinets, go into that drawer, and next minute you smelling something in the air. They cooking. You're like, what the hell they cooking? Mama done scraped something together and was able to save us that night. We wondering how the hell she was able to feed us, but she did it. So when we look at all of these problems, people are looking for somebody to blame. So people are mad at Trump. Trump. It's all your fault. No, it's not his fault. It's not his fault. It's your fault. I know you don't want to hear that. I know you want somebody to blame, but it's your fault. We've grown too dependent, ladies and gentlemen, on the federal government. Too dependent. And that's the reason why we're having problems today. What the government shutdown tells us about our dependence on the system. This shutdown has caused people to realize where they are. Number one, a lot of people have no faith in God. That's what the government shutdown proved. A lot of people have no faith in God at all because they're crying and they're not focusing on God for help. The federal government have become their God. And that's sad. Imagine Christians in church praising Jesus while waiting for the federal government to open up. Think about that. Imagine that. You're in church praising God, but at the same time, your real faith is in the government to take care of you, not God. People are too dependent on the system. Too dependent. Our elderly, our disabled, our veterans that are down and out should always be taken care of, number one. Able-bodied people supposed to go to work. While everybody crashing out, are people going out there getting them job applications ready? Are you getting your resume going? Are you putting in any sort of work to get that job at that fast food joint, or you think you're too good to work there? Do you think you're too good to work there? I already been through the struggle. So don't tell me nothing about, oh, you think you're this, you think you're that. I grew up during the crack epidemic. I grew up on welfare. I grew up in poverty. I grew up in them streets, lived in the projects. So save me all the noise, right? I know about the struggle already. But one thing I don't like is people who are using the system to get a free ride while the taxpayers are really struggling. You have a lot of people that are working, they're struggling too. Just because you got a job doesn't mean everything is good. Hello? Hello? Just because you got a job does not mean you good 100%. Because a lot of you who have a job, once you get paid, that paycheck got to go to your rent. As soon as you get your check. As soon as you get your paycheck, that whole check got to go towards the rent. Then when you get your next paycheck, you got to take another bulk of money to put together with the previous check to pay your rent. See, I know the struggle. I know the struggle. When I was on a 9-to-5, I had to pay $2,000 rent. $2,000 rent when I was on the 9-to-5 in New York about 4 years ago. $2,000 rent. And I can recall when I get my paycheck, I'm like, damn, I don't even have enough money. What the heck am I going to do? You don't have no money. You don't got no money to buy furniture, food. You don't got no money. And then on top of that, to add insult to injury, when you got kids and you factor in all your expenses, bro, you broke. You got a job, but you broke. You see what I mean? So you got a lot of people that are working and they still struggling. And some of you that got these jobs, when you tried to go get benefits, they denied you because they look at how much money you make and they said, based on paper, based on the math, you make too much money. Hello? So the people that collect SNAP benefits that have a 9-to-5, you make way below the requirements in order to get your benefits. So I'm not here to shame you because you got to maintain your life. I know the struggle. I had days where it was like you buy food or you pay your rent. Put a 1 in the chat if you had those days. Put a 1 if you still got those days where it was you pay the rent or you buy food. I've been there. And guess what? I bought the food. I bought the food. I bought the food and I told them people, look, we're going to have to work this thing out because I got to eat. See? So I already know about the struggle. And when you are on the system, getting these programs, it was never meant to be a lifestyle. Come on, y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Ain't nobody could tell me you feel proud to be on public assistance or collecting SNAP. That don't make you feel proud. You don't want nobody to know your personal business. Who wants the world to know they're going through a struggle? A lot of you that's viewing right now, you going through the struggle right now. You don't want nobody to know. Some of y'all hang around y'all buddies, y'all friends. Your friends thinks you're doing well. You don't want them to know what you're going through. And I get it. It's your personal business. And you shouldn't tell nobody what you're going through. At the same time, why have we become so dependent? This dependent is dangerous. This dependent on the federal government to collect these type of assistance for food can be used against us in the future, where if they were to shut the grid down completely and just shut the food system down, if you don't have no means to stay afloat, you're done. You're at the mercy of the federal government. So if they tell you, in order for you to eat, you're going to have to take the mark of the beast. You're going to have to get that stamp on your head or stamp on your forehead, on your hand. You're going to take it. Especially if you got kids. You know? Especially if you got kids. Imagine that. I'm speaking real talk. People are more concerned with my hat when they don't got no food in their refrigerator. Think about that. It don't make no sense. You said the hat, Making America Great Again, is a disgusting hat. Why are you living in America? Imagine this. Folks are crying about public assistance and EBT cards, yet you're waiting for Trump to fix it. You hate Trump, but you want him to fix it. That don't make no sense. Have it ever dawned on you that maybe you're being punished by God? Have it ever dawned on you that the amount of hate that's in America right now towards Trump, that you're being punished by God? I mean, you're not even putting your faith in God. You don't want to work. You don't want to pray. So it's like, this could be happening for a reason. Did I get you mad? See, if you're mad, then it must have been for you. I must be talking about you. Right? So now, what the government shutdown tells us about our dependence on the system. It tells us that we'll never be able to be self-sufficient, because once you depend on something, you grow into a bad habit. Most of you that got on public assistance, you were on it for a few months, then you got off once you got on track. Some of you, you've been on it your whole life. Your kids are on it, your daughters is on it, and it's one big mess. Now look where you are now. You had one lady online, she had 5 kids. She's talking about crashing out. Another lady said she's going to get her cousin to punch people in the face. Said she's going to get her cart and go through Walmart and just do whatever she want to do. Absolutely sick. Let me get some more content for you guys. Check it out.
How can they still get paid and shut down the government, shut down your food stamps, shut down police department? I mean, I think the DC police department right now is not even getting paid. Comment down below if you know better than me. But the military's not getting paid. All these people are just, the FBI is worried about getting paid. Like, how is this a thing? How is politicians not come to the table and fix all this? I mean, we've got people that are going to go hungry and they'll get reelected. How do these congressional candidates keep getting reelected and pulling this stuff off? You have a set amount of time to come up with a decision on what we're going to do. You roll through it, and then we sit here and catfight, Meanwhile, people go hungry. What do you think? Comments down below. You know, a lot of people are not happy about food stamps. People that work every day, they are mad at, they're paying for food stamps. You got some people that just can't get it. But yet I think too that it is assistance, and people that are going hungry need to be able to get assistance, but they shouldn't be able to stay on it for 10 years, 20 years. What do you think about that? You know, I see these comments going back and forth, and, you know, we're still trying to figure this stuff out as a nation, because every political change, we get a new policy here.
And also, how are these people gonna pay their light bill if they can't sell food stamps? Because y'all know a lot of people be selling their stamps, right? So how they gonna pay their rent? How they gonna pay their light bill? And they can't sell stamps. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all know somebody. I'm just trying to figure it out, because the food stamps be having multi-purposes now.
How do they sell food stamps? Somebody tell me down below. How does a person sell their stamps?
Well, the way they do that, sir, is they go into the supermarkets or any other store, like anywhere where they sell food, and the person that's in front of them who is about to use cash, they'll say, hey, I'll pay for the food. Give me the money. You get what I'm saying? That's how they do it. That is how I've seen black folk do in supermarkets. I've seen that right in front of me. I'm about to literally get my stuff and check out, and I see the person in front. They're like, hold up. Let me use my card. You could give me the money. That's how they do it. Just in case you didn't know, that's how they do it.
Did it on a card, and don't you present it at the register? Is there a fiduciary duty that the shopping mart doesn't allow somebody to use the card for somebody else's stuff, like at the commissary?
They don't care. They don't care. They let them literally swipe for somebody else, and that person hit them off with the cash.
The Navy Exchange, like, how does this stuff work? How do you sell your stamps? And in that fraud, like, how does all this stuff work and people not get caught?
All right, here's my plea for help. I'm coming back from the Dollar Tree after buying some cat food for my ferrets and some pee pads so I can clean their cage. And I officially have zero money to my name. My bank account is negative $146.99. I have been Grubhubbing and Amazon flexing for the last 2 weeks. And that's barely gonna get me like righted in my account and ready for my next bill to come out. I still need to pay a $1,000 bill at this point because I'm a month behind, so now it's 2 payments of $500. I've been trying at this since July to get my website up and going and get some people on that, or to just be entertaining and stuff. I know I'm boring as shit. I know my TikToks are not anything that anyone wants to watch, but I need some help. So help me out. Like, share, comment, check out my GoFundMe, check out.
A lot of people are hurting. I understand it. The economy is terrible. I've been talking about it for 2 years now, that we're in this secret recession that nobody wants to talk about because of.
You have a lot of EBT SNAP recipients that are literally going on OnlyFans to show they butt now, fam. Just to make a few dollars, bro. It's getting real bad. You got some women that got ugly feet. They putting that stuff on OnlyFans. It's getting crazy. I mean, nobody wants to see that mess. But this is what it's getting down to, guys. This is how bad it is. They're literally crashing out. You got people selling feet pics, selling their butt, and twerking for likes, trying to pay the light bill. It's getting really bad, bro. Even grandmothers are doing it now. The other day, somebody made a post about a grandma. I think she's like 79, and she started a OnlyFans, bro. Like, no cap. She started a OnlyFans to sell butt pics.
Inflation has ran everybody out of the price market. Like, everything has just gone up. Housing, food, insurance, lawyers, contractors, the cost of goods, building goods, building materials. It's insane. There's so much going on, and it's finally starting to hit people. And politicians did this to all of us.
I feel like food stamps should be mandatory for mothers that have 2 or more children. Stay with me.
No. What do you mean mandatory to mothers that have 2 or more children? No. Where is your baby daddy? Where is he? Where's your baby daddy? Talking about food stamps should be mandatory for mothers that got 2 or more kids. No. Where's the baby daddy?
I feel like food stamps should be mandatory for mothers that have 2 or more children. Stay with me now. If we are qualified to receive a certain amount of money during tax time per child, we should be qualified for food stamps automatically. If they say you can get $2,000 per child that's over a certain age and under a certain age, why we can't get at least $100 per child that we have? And to be honest, I really feel like we should get $200 per child. So if I have 5 kids, I should get at least $1,000 a month for food stamps. Do y'all know how high groceries are? Do you know how many times I go to Walmart per week? I just feel like if we can get all this money during tax time, they should have that same energy when it comes to food for our kids. Our kids should not go without food. And I know we the mamas and we gonna make it shake regardless. But there should be one thing we shouldn't have to worry about. So them food stamps need to be coming every single month on that same day.
What is she quite talking about? She talking about having like $100 extra to pay for the going and coming from the store per kid. Not only the food stamps, but also like a courier, like time served shopping for food. All this is interesting, and I'm just wondering, like, what's the way forward on this? Like, how is this system such a mess? Is it because it's government run, and then now you got politicians fighting over the system? Comment down below what you think. We got some going yes, some saying no. And
look, a lot of the single mothers, right, that are advocating for this program to continue, you need to go back to your child's father and work it out. The late Kevin Samuels, if I can talk about him for a little bit, he talked about how winter is coming. Winter is coming. You know, we're still in the fall. Winter is coming. And it's about to get real cold. And a lot of people, they just didn't get it when the man was speaking. He was trying to warn you ladies to stay with your man. You know, work it out. Like how our grandmothers did with their husband or whatever. They worked it out, even though they had their issues. Winter is here. And now we're seeing the changes. We're seeing the struggle. And I feel that if every woman that had a child, if she stayed with her baby daddy and he worked, she would be good to go. It was never meant for you to be a single mom. And there are just too many single moms in the world. And it's not just a black thing. You got white women that are single mothers. You know what I'm saying? You know, I was pretty much living around predominantly black people when I was in New York, living in New York. Once I moved out of New York and I'm more or less around a mixed group of people, whether it's white or black, there are white women that are single mothers. So it's not just a black thing. You have white women that are single mothers too. So don't get it twisted. My thing is, why are there so many single mothers having all these kids? 3, 4, 5 kids by 5 different men. When does it end? You know what you're doing. You know by having these kids, not only are you using these kids for income tax time, and you and your baby daddy fighting over who gets to file for taxes, then you're using these kids to get the public assistance. It's like, ooh, let's have another baby so I can make more money. And now all these kids are suffering, and your excuse of staying home is, well, I got to raise these kids, so I can't go to work. No, your ASS need to go to work. I'm tired of you being home. Your neighbors are tired of you being home. Every day you home, and you ain't working. And all you talking about is I got to take care of these kids. No. The government been taking care of you for the past 20 years. Some of y'all been on that public assistance for 20 years. 20 years, man. That's crazy. Shout out to RJ Net for the $10 support. Says, B for my mother. Left, she said, son, you better figure out a way to make ends meet, because mama ain't gonna be here for long. Now I see. Keep speaking awareness. Appreciate you sponsoring the show. Listen, when I lost my mom to cancer, that's when life really hit. That's when I realized I was alone and I had no more support from nobody. And I'm not talking about support in the sense of her giving me money to bail me out. She did that for me in my early 20s. I ain't gonna forget mom. She used to always look out for me because I went through the struggle. I moved out of the crib very early in my teen years. Literally, I got kicked out the house. You know what I'm saying? They just couldn't deal with me. I was acting a fool. It was like, oh, you want to be a man? Okay, get out the house. And I had to literally fend for myself. So once I got into my early 20s, went through a crazy struggle, learned about life really quick. In my 30s, that's when I got on track, started doing my thing, boom, boom, boom. Literally in my mid to late 20s, that's when I pretty much the puzzle started coming together. And now at 48, you know what I'm saying, I'm a family man, you know what I'm saying, pretty much got myself together, made a lot of good decisions in my life, got my credit right, moved out of New York into the South. And I know the struggle. And I know what people are going through. I know exactly what they're going through. And in order for us to fix this problem, we're going to have to stop being dependent on the system because it's dangerous. What if the system said tomorrow, hey, we're going to give all you guys benefits, but in order to do that, you all got to give blood for 3 months. Or you got to sell your soul. Or you got to give up a child. Or you got to do this. See, that's where they got you right now. They got you right where they want you. And I'm speaking on those that are on these systems. And I'm thinking, I think the system, people, it's about 20 to 40 million people that is on these programs. That's crazy. That is crazy. That's the whole population. That's ridiculous. That amount of people, that mean that people are truly dependent. And this is how the system will always be able to win over the people. You know, it's supposed to be the people that hold the power. But when you're on your knees waiting for the government to turn on the water, they control you. They control everything about your life. And controlling the food of the population is one of the main things of control. Now, there are people out here that grow their own food. They got their own livestock. They got their own thing going. They ain't worrying about none of this stuff. They are not worrying about how they're going to eat because they live off the land. A lot of people in the U.S., they don't know nothing about farming. They don't know nothing about agriculture. They don't know nothing about none of these things. We've been taught to live in a microwave to depend on the system. And it gotten so bad, we don't even depend on God. A lot of you don't pray. You don't have no faith in Jesus Christ. You don't believe in the Bible. You literally reject all of that stuff. And then when you're falling on hard times, you blame God and say, where God at? That's crazy. That's like calling a family member after 30 years of not calling them and asking them to borrow money. No, I haven't heard from you in 30 years. You calling me now to ask for money? No, I don't care what you're going through, but I got kids. Go to your baby daddy. Go to your baby daddy and complain to him about your kids. Because I don't care. I don't.
And I think the system has been out of whack for a very long time and it needs correcting. But what course are we going to do on this?
I want to know from the people that are in the chat, what exactly is it that you hate about Trump? Like, seriously, what do you hate about Trump? Like, what is it about Trump that makes him the worst guy ever? Because I don't understand what people hate. Like, what exactly do you hate? This doesn't make any sense. he is the Antichrist? What? This doesn't make any sense. When you ask people, what do you hate about Trump? They can't even tell you. It's like you just look for somebody to hate. Doesn't make no sense. You hate him, but you want him to stop all the problems in the world, to be the savior. Come on, man, stop it.
Everybody mad. Trump about to cut off 2 million people off of food stamps. Y'all rushing to the food stamp office trying to figure it out. But you wasn't trying to figure it out when you was out here living your best life, going to concerts, getting your outfits done, getting your nails done, getting your hair done. But you got a full refrigerator full of government groceries. You literally you don't know what to do now. Time has frozen. Food stamps has parked. The ignition don't work. So that means you need to clock the fuck out of Section 8 and clock the fuck in that 9 to 5 real quick.
Do you think it's possible that the safety net that we put into society to keep people fed and shelter gave them the ability to not have to go and produce in society?
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. This is why I've been saying for years that although a lot of us fell on hard times and we may really need the assistance, it really cripples people, man. It really do. I know a lot of y'all may disagree. At the same time, I can only speak from the Black community's perspective. Food stamps, welfare, all that stuff has crippled the Black community and just produced nothing but poverty. It just makes people lazy. Nobody wants to work. I've seen this firsthand, guys. Generations of family, grandma, mama's daughter, her daughter, a generation of 4, all on welfare and food stamps. And nobody wants to work. And nobody got a husband. Make that make sense.
That if you've been on it for 5 or 10 years, has that created a situation that, you know what, I don't care. I don't have to go better myself, work, do the things I need to be doing. I got a refrigerator full of groceries and a card I can go swipe at any time. Why should I go prosper, make myself better?
Somebody said this stream is AI. How could the stream be AI? Are you nuts? See, this is what happens when people have been watching AI too long. They say some ridiculous things. If the stream was AI, it wouldn't say this. Because we're streaming live, nut job. Let's go.
Read, develop my skill set. I'm good. Like, I see that mindset everywhere. And the ones that get hurt by this mindset is the children.
Well, if the children get hurt in the process, they're just a casualty of war. Because at the end of the day, you got to blame the parents for bringing these kids into a battle that they can't even win. We got to stop feeling sorry for the kids. And I get it. They're kids. They don't deserve this. At the end of the day, we got to blame the parents, guys. We can no longer play and sugarcoat and say, well, the kids are suffering. You know, let's just blame Trump. Let's just blame the government. No, blame the mama and the dad for bringing this baby into a world and they're not here to provide. You and a man produce a child and neither of you are working to produce anything for this child. And y'all want to go have 3, 4, 5 kids and none of y'all working to provide? This doesn't make any sense.
If you're wondering, the Blue Angels are flying right now, and that's what that loud noise is outside. It's Naval Air Station.
I'm going to say something that might upset some people, but it is what it is. Most of you know that I do DoorDash, and while doing DoorDash, I noticed that you can use your EBT card for DoorDash.
Wow.
So not only do people not have to pay for their groceries, they also don't even have to get up off their couch. They can just yell at me through the chat to get them everything that they want. And let me tell you, it's not a cart full of fresh vegetables, fruits, and meats. It's always processed food and garbage. Now, I am all for a leg up, not a lifestyle. People need help, and I'm glad that this country offers the way for people to get a little bit of help that they need. What I'm not okay with is where EBT is allowed. DoorDash should not allow EBT customers. Sorry. Did you know, if I just walked in the room,
That's wild. I did not know that is true. Can you DoorDash with a EBT card? I mean,
I didn't even know that. That's new to me.
come on, government. Y'all got to fix this. I think the main problem with a lot of this is the government has allowed a lot of these food companies to lobby their processed foods into the system. Yes, processed foods are statistically cheaper, but I feel like it should be run something like whole fruits and vegetables, locally sourced, stimulate the local economy. There should be parameters around this. Water, meats, vegetables.
What's the matter with this person? Somebody named Conflict by whatever. You says you wicked for that, and you definitely ain't in the trenches feeding the poor and doing the work of the Lord outside in Jesus' name. You are going to reap what you sow in Jesus' name. You're broke in Jesus' name. You're broke in Jesus' name. You talking about what? I ain't in the trenches feeding the poor. Why don't you go feed them? That's not my job. You talking about feeding the poor. What the heck am I? I'm the Salvation Army. Get off your damn ASS and go get a job, Negro. What the hell is wrong with you? You waiting for somebody to come to you and feed the poor? When your sorry ASS is on social media watching me complaining when you could be filling out job applications and preparing your resume for Monday morning, but you here complaining to me like I'm supposed to be your damn daddy? How about you get off your ASS and go get a job and work? Always looking for Jesus to give you something to eat. How long have you been reading the Bible? Are you keeping the commandments of God? Are you showing the love of Jesus Christ? No. You're just some entitled, spoiled brat who's looking for a handout, who don't want to get his damn hands dirty, but you want to stay home all day playing PlayStation and watching YouTube videos complaining. Nobody don't got no time for your drama, dog.
Fruits, potatoes, things that you got to take home, cook. You got to take home and fix yourself. Not all this like sugar, processed food. And this is why we're running to a health epidemic. Who would have thought in the richest nation in the world we'd be worried about people eating? But instead, we've always got money for wars, but none for the poor.
Listen, nobody is poor in the United States. I said it. There is nobody poor in the United States. Nobody's poor. I don't want to hear that. Nobody's poor. You know how I know? Because here's the thing. Everybody have cell phones, iPhone 17s, designer clothes, designer coats. They're eating out fast food, dinners, lobster, shrimp, partying, traveling, doing all these things, but crying broke. You see this in the hood, in the projects. Everybody got on Jordans. You got on Jordans, everybody got iPhones and Galaxies. How you poor and y'all all got iPhone 17s? Heck, the cell phone I'm using right now is an iPhone 13 Pro Max. I'm still on the 13 Pro Max. I ain't upgrading. The hell I'm upgrading for? Y'all on the 17, I'm still on the 13 Pro Max. The heck I look like upgrading phones every minute. But yet you got people crying broke, but when it comes to phones, they got the latest phone. And the women always getting their hair done. Explain that to me. Explain to me how you poor. Explain to me how you broke, but your hair get done all the time. Your hair done, your makeup done, you got on a new fly pair of shoes, but you poor and your kids are hungry. Explain that to me. Yeah, they're getting their nails done, getting their toes did, and then they want to go to church and talk about Jesus. Amen. I said, Jesus is good. If he's so good, go get a job. If Jesus is so good. Because you be taking that EBT money, transferred into cash to get your hair done. How is it that you are on social media crying about your SNAP benefits, but you getting $700 hair done? Your hairdo costs $700. Explain that to me. You don't got no food in your fridge, but your hairdo costs $700 and you living in the projects. I see this all the time, guys.
Comments down below. See you guys in the next video.
Let me put on another video. Give me a minute. Let me get this going. Watch this, gang. Check this out.
So this is for y'all that don't know how much baby milk actually costs and why we need the WIC program, which is set to be, the funding is set to be cut off next month. Just one of these. Look at these prices, y'all. $44. This is how much do you guys know how long it takes to go through a can of this? Like, this is crazy. Look at this little can, and certain babies need specific types of milk. This is $61 for one container, $52.
Look, ladies, let's stop the BS. God Almighty made you with 2 breasts so you could feed them kids. Feed them. You busy buying this garbage to feed your babies. God gave you 2 breasts so that you can feed your babies. That's what breasts are for. Breasts are not for you to be on the gram showing cleavage, trying to seduce a brother, thirst trapping all damn day. He gave you them breasts so that you can feed them babies. But you ain't doing it. The average woman that have a baby in America don't even breastfeed. She don't breastfeed. Instead, you feeding your kids a bunch of formula. Your kid has turned into a science project. When you look at horses, when you look at all sorts of other animals, dogs, cats, any sort of animal that have babies, they give the babies suck. But when it comes to us, we have babies and the women don't breastfeed. Do you know when you breastfeed a baby, your baby will be smarter, develop faster, able to learn the English language or any language quickly because their brain is developing quick. Do you understand? When women choose not to breastfeed, that's child abuse. That's child abuse. You are abusing your child. You are not giving your child the nourishments and the nutrients they actually need, which come from the breasts of a woman. That's crazy. We live in a society where women do not breastfeed their young. That is diabolical. That is diabolical, bro. Make sure y'all double tapping the screen to like the show, fam. Listen, I'm just speaking non-stop truth, pure fire, and people mad at me in the chat, bro. Y'all supposed to be saluting me for this truth.
You guys, $60. This is why we need the WIC program, you guys.
Why every time I'm doing a live, you got some old ninja coming in my live saying you wish you were white? Why do y'all always do that? You wish you were white. No, I don't wish I was white. That's what you wish, because you keep projecting that on me. You're mad because you a ninja and you're living in the slums and you're down and out. So you look at me and you project what you wish you were on me to try to shame me. I'm a man. I'm an American man. You're just miserable because your life sucks. You can't get the life that you want, so you try to shame everybody else who's doing better than you, rather than you pay attention to the content and learn something. Because you're dependent on the government, and everybody that's dependent on the government will take the mark of the beast. You will take the mark of the beast. Because when the New World Order kick in, you will be lining up to say, hey, give me that mark, fam. I got to eat some steaks. Let's go.
There is no way possible that these women are going to be able to afford this milk. That is ridiculous. They are setting us up for failure.
Nobody's setting you up for failure. You have failed because you don't want to breastfeed your baby. Ladies, when you give birth, your body is ready to produce milk. When you give birth, your body is ready to produce milk. Think about that. And what happens is when you allow your child to suck on your breast nipple, it activates your body to produce more milk. And it creates a chain reaction of manufacturing more milk for the baby. But when you refuse to breastfeed, you don't produce no more milk because you're telling your body, we never had a baby. And a lot of you ladies don't even know the first thing about breastfeeding. You done had 5 kids and never breastfed a child. Shame on you.
So we're going to talk about this. SNAP benefits, food stamps, it's all about the change. Everything's about the change. It's going to be very interesting. Come November, things are changing. I want to know what you got to think about this. Comments down below. There is a whole new process going in. SNAP, EBT, food stamps. And we're going to watch some of these videos and go see what people got to say about it. Because there's a lot going on. Some really things. I mean, they shut down a store the other day because of the riots. Let's get to it.
Donald Trump just fucked up. Like, why would you take away these people benefits? We literally just had to go home because everybody came into my grocery store. I work at Walmart. Everybody came into Walmart bum rushing, stealing, like filling up buggies, running out the store, like just putting all the groceries in their cart because he want to cut off motherfucking food stamps. Y'all, this shit crazy. Like, I think y'all are getting y'all food stamps in November, or maybe some of y'all is not, but like, they literally just had to like do emergency evacuation at our store because everybody came in going crazy.
Black folk came into his store looting, robbing, and stealing. Why? Why would the store do an early shutdown if everybody is good old Christian folk?
For like food for their kids and shit. And I'm not gonna hold y'all. Isn't this the same orange dude that y'all voted for to be in presidency?
Notice how he called Trump an orange dude. See, he's a racist. Black racism. Let's go.
Like, isn't this the same dude? The same Lorax man y'all voted for? Like, y'all, this crazy. They literally had to like evacuate all of the employees at my job to the back because everybody came in stealing. Everybody said, fuck Christmas, holidays. Like, we finna just take everything out this bitch. Like, this shit is crazy.
Since they want to take food stamps away, I'm going to Walmart. I'm going to rack up any damn I want, throw this shit right in the basket. I'm going right about the bitch. Move, get the fuck out my way. I'm not paying for a damn thing. Y'all got me fucked up. I ain't getting a food stamp on EBT. Oh, watch this. Watch this. I'm about to, it's about to be some bullshit. It about to be some shit. I'm about to go in that bitch masked up. You hear me?
Man.
Masked up. Racking every damn off the damn shelf, throwing that shit in a basket, walking clean about it.
Straight up like this.
Hold up, bro. This dude said he gonna go in there masked up. He gonna be robbing and stealing and just crashing out. Bro, what's going on in the black community, dog? Y'all really want to go to jail? You trying to steal food only to get arrested to go to prison to eat prison food. Now you in prison washing some other man's drawers. You got to worry about your butt getting taped. You in prison in the shower dropping the soap all over. Bro, what you in here for, dude? Oh, I was robbing the local Walmart. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to steal some food. You trying to steal some food? I'm trying to steal your butt. Come on, dog. Come on, man. Not again. I just wanted to steal some potatoes and some sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes? You looking kind of sweet there, Bubba. We gonna take that butt right now. That's what's going on in prison. You guys are crashing out only to go to prison for another ninja to take your butt and your sweet potatoes. So now you got other men enriching themselves with sweet potatoes in the prison cell, in the bed, in the bunk. You on the bottom bunk with your sweet potatoes. That's not cool, dog.
I just got that text that the link is definitely cut the fuck off for November. Y'all better stay the fuck out of my way in these stores. I'm walking out with carts and I'm not paying for shit.
What?
Trump, if you want motherfuckers start looting, what's gonna happen? Before my kids go broke this bitch like Jock, I'm gonna be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow.
What?
I'm going to go in that store, get everything I get regularly. I'm going to bag my shit, swipe my link card, food that bitch say. Ain't no pending balance on there.
Honestly, I feel like this is a whole rage bait thing.
What the heck is going? Yo, people crashing out, bro. This is wild. Then you got this other woman. She's in a robe. You can hear her kids crying in the background. She come on social media with the bonnet on to complain about SNAP benefits. But let's rewind it back. I want to hear that other crazy lady that was talking about she's going to be in the store robbing and stealing and whatnot. I don't think he put the part where she said that her cousin is going to come up into the store and beat everybody up and punch them in the face. I don't think he put that part in the video. He probably cut it.
Straight up like this, I just got that text that the link is definitely cut the fuck off for November. Y'all better stay the fuck out of my way in these stores. I'm walking out with carts and I'm not paying for shit. Trump, if you want motherfuckers start looting, what's gonna happen? Before my kids go broke this bitch like Jock, I'm gonna be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow. I'm going to go in that store, get everything I get regularly.
Right.
I'm going to bag my shit, swipe my link card, food that bitch say. Ain't no pending balance on there.
Honestly, I feel like this is a whole rage bait thing. Next month, knowing it's Thanksgiving and they quote unquote taking the food stamps away from us, they just trying to see how bad it's gonna get. They really trying to test us.
No, they're not trying to test nothing. You don't want to work. You don't want a husband. Notice, guys, all of these women are crying on social media. Where's their husband? Where the baby daddy? How come he not providing? Because she don't want that. See, because of these assistant programs, it replaced the man from being a man. There was a time when a man was a provider, protector of his family. But what happened was, since the advent of these public assistance programs, WIC, welfare, EBT, Section 8, women have figured out a way of how to tell the man, I don't need you. I could do bad by myself. Because they knew the federal government would take care of them. So they had a cushion, they had a backup plan. Now, the stock of men that are working, it went up. So to all the guys, your stock value went up this month. So if you are a working class man, your stock value just went way up. Do you understand? Because now you're in demand. Because if the federal government stays shut down and these EBT cards ain't filled with money, these ladies are going to be coming back to their baby daddy. These ladies are going to say, hey, let me stop acting like I'm Miss Independent. Let me humble myself and find me a husband. You watch and see.
So we're going to have to make an example out of their ass. We're going to go to the motherfucking store, fill up a cart all the way to the top of that motherfucker. We all going to station our buggies in a line. Everybody going to be behind each other.
Right.
Bucket full. And we all going to run out there.
And you're going to run out right into the police car. You're going to run out of the Food Lions, the Walmarts. You're going to run out with your shopping carts right into the sheriff's patrol car. That's what's going to happen. Imagine this. They really believe in 2025 that you can loot from a Walmart and make it to the parking lot to fill your truck up and get away and not be caught on camera. These people are crashing out. And I wouldn't be surprised if coming November, people actually start doing this and Trump send the troops into all sorts of major cities and shut it all down to the point where you won't be able to shop at these markets because the National Guard will be at all of these food pantries, food markets, you name it. They're going to be there. The Trader Joe's, they're going to be there too. I've seen one video on YouTube where, not YouTube, TikTok, where they were plotting. They was like, yo, what we're going to do is we're going to be waiting outside for the working class folks. For when you go shopping, we're going to be waiting for you to take your groceries. That ain't happening to me. I can tell you that right now. I'm in a Second Amendment state. You don't want to play those games. Talking about you going to be outside waiting for me to get my groceries. We're going to have a nice box prepared for you. Shout out to Nate for the $2 support. Says what? Hashtag defund the welfare class. Make them work for a living. Yeah, that's right. That is right. Make sure y'all thumb up that comment. That person that posted super chat at Nate, make sure y'all thumb that up, fam. That's a real good hashtag. Defund the welfare class. Make them work for a living. There you go. You're on the right path. Let's go.
Since they want to play with us. Because why the fuck would you take food stamps knowing Thanksgiving next month and we got to eat?
What?
Knowing we love...
Whoa. Did you hear what she said? And shout out to Caramel Kimmy Kim. I see you in the building. Did you hear what she just said? She just said they got to make sure that she eat because we love Thanksgiving.
You take food stamps knowing Thanksgiving next month and we got to eat. Knowing we love the Thanksgiving. Y'all know how we do. So that's the plan. Since they want to raise bait and take the food stamps for November, knowing it's Thanksgiving, we're going to show them what the fuck we can do. Then they're going to be losing money.
You know, with all these...
And you're going to be losing your child because once you get arrested, you ain't going to be smiling no more. So if you think, and you could tell she's in her early 20s, acting the fool, crashing out, your child, you're going to lose your baby. If you think you could just walk into these stores shoplifting and think it's good. It's not going to be cool for you.
Videos, I like to see what people are saying because these people are mad. And are they rightfully so mad, or are they just going to take it out on their own community? I mean, really, who was hurt when you looted?
Now, when he said take it out on their own community, you have to understand he is talking about black folk taking it out on their own community because that's what they do in the black community. You know, that's what they do. And, you know, some people might look at him and be like, oh, he's a racist. You know, he's making videos about black people. No, that's not what it is. He's a content creator. This is YouTube. It's fair game. You can make videos about anything, white, black, whoever, whatever. As long as it's content, it's entertaining, it's good, it's educational, it's all fair game. Now, in the black community, isn't it a fact that anytime there's any sort of natural disaster, what do black folk do? Start looting from stores. If there's a situation with a George Floyd type situation, what do black folk do? Tear the city up, burn down the stores, start looting right away, right? When you had Katrina going on, what people were trying to do? What they were trying to do while they were stranded and suffering and going crazy. People were literally trying to rob and steal, right? So now you have this situation. What are they prepared to do? Rob from their own community and burn down stores. That's what they're planning on doing.
For the local community. I don't know if that's the answer. The true answer is to go start calling your politicians. Shout
out to I Decide to Live Today for the 10. Appreciate you sponsoring the show. Let's see what else we got. Okay, let's go.
Politicians accountable, going to Congress, tweeting, protesting.
No, don't listen to nothing that he said about protesting, doing it. None of that stuff's going to help you. The best thing to do is get a job. The best thing to do is invest. The best thing is to do is have a plan, save money, prepare for the future, have some money set aside for a rainy day, live within your means, live within your means, live within your means. Try doing that. Live within your means. If you know you're poor, you're not supposed to have an iPhone 17. If you're poor, you're not supposed to have an iPhone 17. I could buy an iPhone 17 if I want, but I don't have one. I'm using an iPhone 13 Pro Max. I'm still on an outdated iPhone. And guess what? It works perfectly fine. And I like it because it's saving me money. Let's go.
Protesting civilly, not burning down and looting your own stores. Because pretty soon you just won't have any stores. The insurance money will run out of these stores.
You said, what about all the people that are losing their jobs? Hey, I lost a job. Go get another job. What do you want to do? We want to have a crybaby day? You never lost a job before? If you lost a job, what do? Sit there and cry? You get up, strap up your boots, and you go get another job. Or you start a business. It's that simple. What do you want me to do? What about all the people losing their jobs? It's a government shutdown. What do you want to do? Did you prepare for it? No, because you were dependent on the system. So you're getting what you asked for. You're getting what you asked for. If you're dependent on the system, if the system falls, you fall with it. If you're on a bridge and the bridge is collapsing, what do you think is going to happen? You're a part of the bridge because you're standing on it. So if you are dependent upon the federal government, if your job is related to the federal government, then once the government shutdown happened, everything's shut down with it.
And they'll just leave the community, you know? And look at this. We got a lot of people here saying that
Remember, there's a lot of people that got their jobs still. There's a lot of people that still have their jobs. There are people that learned their lesson. This ain't the first time this happened. You do know that, right? It's not the first time the government shut down. But there were people that worked at certain jobs where they had issues and they said, no, I'm not going through this again. I'm leaving this job. I'm going to go get another job so that if this happened again, I won't have these problems. Because they're smart. Some of you decided to stay. And now you're dealing with the same nonsense and it's worse now.
Temporary assistance. Some people have been on this a very long time, and some people are just depending on it. And if you allow somebody to be the only way, let's say the government, the only way your family eats, you're at the beck and call of that government. What do you think about that? Comments down below.
And shout out to everybody that subbed to the show. Let me see what's going on. You have, I think that's Miguel. Says I subbed. Good night. Oh, you out? All right. Hey, appreciate you for subscribing to the channel. Catch you in the next live. If you're new to the show, guys, be sure to double tap the screen and give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. I appreciate you subscribing. We do a lot of commentary videos, a lot of entertaining content. We're talking about this issue, guys, because a lot of people are losing it right now. They are losing it, and my only concern is how are they going to take care of the elderly and the disabled and our veterans. Those are the only groups that I'm really concerned with. Able-bodied adults that work can go to work. And those of you that are working, that depend on SNAP, these programs, and such, your situation is a little different because you actually work. So I'm not here to beat you up. I'm not here to try to shame you. I'm not here to put you down. I know the struggle. I know how it is. If you're a working class person and you've been dependent on these benefits to get you through, I understand what you're going through. Right now, you're going to have to figure something out. You're going to have to figure something out. Like, seriously, if it means finding an extra job, doing a side hustle, something, you're going to have to figure it out quick. Because coming next month, people ready to crash out, you don't know what to expect. So if you're in a Second Amendment state, make sure you're walking around with your pow. Make sure that's on your person. Legal pow, right? Make sure you got that prepared because you may need to intervene in a situation in a supermarket. You may need to be a hero. I'm just saying. You don't have to be. I'm just saying. You may have to intervene in a situation because the way it's looking, a lot of people are really talking reckless on social media, and some of these people are real. They're really going to crash out. So be prepared. I already know the white man in the South is already prepared. I know y'all prepared already. I know y'all got y'all pow ready because it's going to get real. Hopefully it don't. Hopefully come in November, they open up the floodgates and give everybody what they need. If these folks don't get their money, somebody's crashing out. We're going to hear about it in the paper. Somebody's going to go nuts. And they're going to attack innocent Americans in these supermarkets. Something's going to happen.
We got a lot of people saying a lot of things in these comment sections. Some people are for it. Some people are against it. Some people are on the side of food stamps. Some of them are saying, you know what, it's time to reform.
And when the video's done, I'll make sure I leave a link to this guy's channel because I'm using his video to do a reaction to. So I'll make sure and put a link in the description area if you want to give him a follow. Let's get to the content. Let's go.
That's it's supposed to be help transition off. A new batch of people come in, they need help, transition off. Same way with Section 8. Did a whole video on that. Very interesting stuff.
Benefits will not be issued for the month of November. If you're new here, my name is Crystal. I'm a social worker and a caseworker. I have been working in the social service field for over 10 years. I also worked at the SNAP Welfare Food Stamp Office for over 6 years. I have processed hundreds of SNAP cases, and in this video, I will explain to you what's happening with November SNAP benefits. Due to the government shutdown, many states are now sending out notifications stating that they do not have the funds to issue SNAP benefits for the month of November. The federal government has already informed all states that it will not fund November's benefits. And since the funding for SNAP comes from the federal government, the states literally have no money to pay out. Some states are outright saying that they will not issue November's benefits, and some states have not confirmed it yet. I'll just tell you, if you receive SNAP benefits, please be careful on how you spend October's benefits because there will be no more SNAP issued until this shutdown ends. I have some resources to help you find food pantries if you need.
I think my biggest thing on this is that the kids shouldn't have to suffer because
the kids are going to suffer, fam. Doesn't matter. I understand what he's trying to do. It's social media. You got to kind of make people can be concerned about the kids. Listen, at the end of the day, as a parent, you are responsible for your kids. So even if there is a government shutdown, even if they're not giving you your SNAP benefits, as a parent, you got to make something happen. I don't care. Listen, if you're a man and you got kids and your woman is in the house and you get fired from your job or whatever the case, you lost your job, she's looking at you like, you know, you got to do something. You got to figure this out. And many of you guys probably been in that place where you literally had to put 2 and 2 together and get some other hustle quick because you got these kids to take care of. You got these bills. Notice our bills. Let me tell you something about bills. Our bills show up more than our family. Our bills are always on time. They always pay a visit. Right? You got your Visa bill, your MasterCard bill, your mortgage bill, your rent bill, light bill, phone bill, gas bill, water bill, trash bill, you know? Shoot, I got to pay extra for my trash because I needed extra cans in front of the house. I got to pay extra. So bills are everywhere. And these bills always show up. They don't care if you get fired. They don't care if you lost your job. Your bill will always show up. So you got to pay them. Right? So if you fall on rough times, you cannot wait for the federal government. You got to get out there and start hustling. Do what you got to do. And I mean legal, not selling drugs or doing something illegal. So got to make that clear, right? Because, you know, some people will hear me and be like, Ringo said to go out there and sell this. No, I did not say that. I said to go out there and hustle, meaning to work, grind, be consistent, and make something happen. You know, even if you had to start getting scrap metal and go to the yard and make some money with that, do something. Get all sorts. Go get a lawnmower. Well, it depends on where you are, because if you in a place where they have Bermuda, I don't know what lawn services you're going to be doing. You're going to have to find some cool season lawn to cut, but it's going to be rough. I don't know. You're going to have to figure something out quick, because it's going to get crazy coming next month.
Politicians are arguing. And I don't think the government should ever have to be shut down if politicians did their job.
No, if people did their job. Come on now. You know, listen, fam, you know good and well that a lot of these people don't want to work. They don't want to work, fam. A lot of them. And I'm talking about the able-bodied adults that want to sit home collecting all these checks and don't want to do nothing. That's the issue that I got. The people that want to sit home and just play around all day and make the taxpayers pay their way.
Session limits that they have. And I said this on many videos.
Yeah, eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Heck, Roman noodles. Go to Walmart, your local Food Lion, order a whole load of Roman noodles. Get that. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Some sunflower seeds. Hey, you got to take it back to the ghetto, bro. Mashed potatoes and some Franks. Some what's that? Spam. Spam or whatever the heck. What is that? I don't know what it's good. What is it called, man? I'm trying to think about what this thing is called, man. It's this food we used to eat, man. Whatever, who cares? You got to go back to the ghetto way of eating food, bro. Just to be filled. For real, for real. I still eat Roman noodles. I can go show you. I still got Roman noodles in here, fam. Still got them.
Why aren't the politicians the first to not get paid if they don't do their job?
Corned beef. That's what I was talking about. Corned beef. There you go. There you go. Y'all reminded me. See, some of y'all from the hood. Some of y'all from the hood. Y'all don't forget where y'all came from. That corned beef with the onions and stuff, with the rice and some plantains. Man, I tell you, bro, I still whip that up today, bro. Come on now, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
But the military is the one that is getting hurt the most. They're the ones not being able to pay their light bills, pay their house notes, their car payments. Trust me, I was there when they shut it down, and we had to go and give food to...
For breakfast, you just eat some hash browns. That's it, fam. Go get the whole case of hash browns, and you fix that for your kids in the morning. Some hash brown with some ketchup and a cup of tea, and I'm good, bro. Take it back to the hood, bro, the hood way. Straight up and down. When you don't got no bread, no money, ain't no food in the crib, hey, hash browns for breakfast. That's it, with some tea, and we straight. Let's go.
Soldiers' families, because they didn't have money to buy it, because politicians didn't pay them. They should not have to suffer.
Yeah, bring back the grits, the oatmeal. Y'all remember mama used to cook them oatmeal and them grits in the morning? That oatmeal with the cinnamon, when she put them cinnamon in there, bro? Man. Y'all remember grandma? Grandma always made it the best. Grandma and mama, the grits, she used to make the grits good, bro. Real, you had to eat it from the side. You know, like when you put it in a bowl, you can't eat it from the middle of the bowl. It'd be too hot. You got to eat it from the side of the bowl, from the corners, and you spoon it up, and you eat your grits. Slamming, bro. They don't know. I know, but I know what that's like.
Because of politicians, and neither should the kids. And I don't really know how you do the feed the kids thing without doing the EBT for the entire family. I'm not an expert on this. Comment down below.
Somebody said, what? Roach burgers and KFC raw chicken babies? What the heck is that, bro? Man, that's wild right there, fam.
Thoughts. I mean, we're seeing a lot of people really mad about this, and you can run these videos in tandem just on a big widescreen and see what the word on the street is right now. And it's going to be very interesting come November what actually happens.
Yeah. I'm laughing at the way he talked, bro, because it's like he's sharing the story, but it's almost like he's excited for what's happening, bro. It's like, it's crazy, man. It's not really a laughing matter, but you got to laugh sometimes, man, when you're going through, man. When I was struggling, bro, it was tough, but sometimes you had to laugh, bro, to get through the fire, man. Like, for real, bro. Like, it's really wild, fam. But let's get to the tape. Let's go.
For office in my local county. I'm in Pennsylvania. And we received an email today, this afternoon, that SNAP benefits, food stamp benefits, if the federal government is still shut down, will not be released in November. And that any applications after the 15th, which were 2 days ago, will not be issued. So it is true. I know we're seeing a lot of different stuff online, articles, but it is true. I've been officially notified as an employee with the state at the welfare office. So if the federal government does not come up and running as of November, food stamps will not be issued.
Wow. It won't be issued, guys. Let's see. Somebody named Sweetie says, "You still talking? What's your beef with me? What did I do?" With a name like Sweetie, shouldn't you be sweet? Come on now. With a name like Sweetie, shouldn't you be sweet? So why you hating on your boy? Come on now. We're just doing some content. Lighten up. Let's get back to the content. Let's go.
We see all these comments here over and over, people saying that they're about to break stuff. So do you appease the mob? Do you hold politicians accountable? Or do we just let the mob go? I mean, we got to think about the kids, though. The kids being without, that's what really hurts me about all this. I know it's supposed to be,
Stop the cap, sir. Come on now. You know you don't care about none of that stuff. You pretty much good. You on YouTube. You doing your thing. I doubt that you really care about them kids. I really doubt that, fam. Like, I'm just saying, you might feel some type of way, but me personally, as a black man, I'm looking at this thing logically. Nobody cares about these kids. Not even the federal government do. Because if they're doing the shutdown, they know kids are being affected, and they don't care. You see how that works? Because why? Those benefits and everything else is connected to the system. So they don't care. And nobody really cares. The Christian church don't care. Did you get that? The Christian church do not care about the kids. TD Jakes don't care. Why TD Jakes don't give money to the poor? Why he don't give money to the poor? Creflo Dollar. He too busy trying to make a dollar. What about Kenneth Copeland? How come he ain't giving no money? The church don't care. All these pastors in these churches are pimps. They nothing but pimps. Every day you go to church, pastor be like, "Oh, amen, Jesus." Hey, everybody in the church, I'm Pastor Leroy, and today's sermon, amen, we're going to talk about God. You know, ladies and gentlemen in the church, God told me that all of you who labor and are poor need to bring me your money. I said, all of you in the church need to bring me your money. So come on down to the altar right now in Jesus' name and bring me your envelope with $1,000. That's right. And God is going to give you a miracle. I said God is going to give you a miracle. That's right. Come on down, y'all. Come on down. Bring that money. You right there. Don't walk out this church. You. Come on down here with that wallet now. Bring that money. That's right. You. Come in. Come here to your pastor. That's right. Who that fine looking lady coming into church? Is that Suzanne right there? Woo! Suzanne, you looking mighty fine, girl. Whoops, I just made a mistake. Lord, forgive me. I'm in church. But Suzanne, come on down to the altar. Let me see you, girl. Oh, my God. Turn around. That's right. Yes, amen. That's how the pastor be in the church. That's how the pastor be in the church, y'all. Taking your money ain't funny no more. In Jesus' name, the pastor be stealing from the people. That's right.
Assistance. Some of these programs, the budget is so huge on them. And we'll see later in this video, some people are really trying to break this down.
I'm in trouble. The USDA just sent out a nationwide notice saying that every state that participates in SNAP is not to dispense any SNAP funds November 1st.
Ha! Not to dispense those funds next month? Fam, I don't know about you, bruh, but if you already got that letter saying they not giving out no funds, you should have already been job hunting, hustling, mowing lawn, painting houses, doing something. You know what I mean? Because now is not the time to be playing. This is real. You know? This is really real, bro. Or you're just going to have to cut back. You know, I know you have a lot of people at work and they get public assistance and EBT and all that stuff. You're going to have to just not pay your cell phone bill or, you know, cut back on your Netflix, your Hulu. You're going to have to cut all of that stuff off and just live within your means.
Like literally a direct notice to not dispense any SNAP. So whatever you got now, you hold on to it. If you just received it, buy smart, buy rice, buy beans, anything that's shelf stable, whatever you get.
But the thing is, you should have been buying that stuff before the shutdown. See, my mama always taught me to live within your means, to buy what you can afford, to wait for sales. I always wait for sales, bro. I always wait for sales to buy anything. I'm talking about anything. I do not just buy stuff. I wait for the sales, y'all. No cap. 4th of July sale, this sale, that sale. I wait for the sale. Amazon Prime Week, I wait for the sale. I'm not dumb. I save because why? My mama taught me. You better shop around. Y'all remember that? See, some of you youngins, you don't even know about that. But we learn to live within our means. Now, from time to time, I may treat myself to something nice. But for the most part, I try my best to live within my means as much as I can. You know what I mean? Because it's very expensive to live in America, fam. Very expensive. Let's go.
With your benefits this month needs to be shelf stable. That is top priority. Get in touch with your local pantries, because I know that I am. That's for God sure.
Why is somebody sending me a chupa chat telling me to speak on Israel? Why don't you start a YouTube platform and speak on Israel? What the heck are you telling me to speak on something that you know about? You go and start a channel and speak on it. That would make sense for you.
November 1st, they're going to cut off SNAP benefits. This is going to have major effect on all of us, guys, not just the people who are losing their benefits. Because you need to think, all these people who are losing the ability to buy food when the economy is already in the gutter and things are already at just ridiculous pricing.
The prices just keep going up and up. He's correct. And they're going to continue to go up. We're in the great melt-up right now. I've talked about this for years. We are at the situation right now where we're going to look up next year.
Somebody came in and says, "Cause what? Cause you don't know about it." Fam, I don't even care. Let's go.
Things are going to be 10% more. I'm going to show in another video about how some of these Walmart price tags are changing every morning. What if the price tomorrow was 30 cents more than it is today?
That's true. That's true. When I go to these stores, man, like, I got to shop at Walmart, bro. Like, a lot of people be telling me to shop at Sam's and this place and these other places because it's like their prices be going up and down, bro. up and down, man. I be looking at steaks and whatnot. 1 minute the steak be like, $40. Next minute be like $56. I'm like, bro, man, y'all doing too much, bro.
$1 more than it is today. Quarter more than it is today. Would you just go out and binge purchase? It's coming. I'm going to show you.
How do you think that they're going to survive? What's next? Theft? You're going to have to start stealing food, which means prices are going to raise, which means they will lock things up, which means we might need martial law a lot sooner than we thought. Because when they have to start controlling the food centers, the Walmarts, martial law, that's when bread lines and everything will start. Okay. When the food centers are no longer secure, that's when your lockdowns will really begin. And when you take the SNAP benefits away from all these people who already have nowhere else to turn, what do you think is going to be the result of this? These people are going to get into survival mode here soon. Whether they come to the stores and start rioting and ransacking the shelves in the stores, or they start coming to your cupboards, they're going to come looking for food here soon, because that's survival.
That's not survival, that's criminal activity. The Bible says, take no thought for your life. How will you be clothed? How will you have food? And how will you have drink? But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. The problem with Americans is they forgot about God. That's what happened. Now, why is it that the Christian church ain't teaching this? The script, Jesus Christ said, take no thought for your life. So why is everybody worried about these things? Because they have no faith in God. That's why.
Guys, this isn't good. This isn't good. And I hope that you guys are having discussions within your community about how to take care of one another. This economy is in the gutter. It's done. And they're going to flip the switch here soon.
If they flip the switch, let's switch the switch to God. Let's do that, guys. Let's put our faith in God. Change systems. If the system you're in right now ain't working and it failed you, switch systems and get right with Jesus Christ, fam. Jesus said it in the scriptures. Take no thought for your life. Behold the lilies of the field. They neither toil nor spin, but your heavenly Father take care of them. He take care of the birds of the air. They don't sow nor reap, but he provide for them. The other day, I'm out here. I got up in the morning early, like 5, 6. It was like the light was still dim coming up. And you had 2 ducks that appeared on my lawn. I'm the only one in this community that have lawn that is actually growing because I have a cool season yard. And the ducks came over here for food. Why? Because God sent them over here. Now, I didn't like the fact that the ducks was over here, but it was like, it brought me joy to see that God sent the ducks to my yard so they could get some food. It's like he made me grow the grass and do what I need to do just so he could provide. So what I'm trying to show you is this. People are so dependent on the government that they don't have no faith in God no more. This is dangerous, guys. This is dangerous because I'm seeing people panic. They're full of fear. They're losing their minds and they're not praying to God to get directions. They're lost. That's where we at, man.
All right? They're lining up all the dominoes and they're knocking them down. And unless you are a billionaire, you are going to be affected by this. You are going to have a lifestyle change. We're talking about a financial reset, a world currency reset. This isn't done.
In my opinion, I think things are just going to get radically more expensive. It's going to go.
See, somebody named Jimmy Snow says at Ringo TV, I got to go, but call or reach out if you ever want to debate. The preaching is ironic as F. Yeah, well, all right. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I could do on the replay. I'll check out your platform, see what's going on. But yeah, It's like with today's day, man, I don't know if you're familiar, maybe you're not. I'm the type of guy that I've always been exposing these pulpit pimps, these preachers, because they're not really for God. It's like they just want money. And I was once a member of Creflo Dollar's church. So we're talking about somebody that was in the religion of Christianity at one point in time. I've seen how they get down. I know the ins and outs of how they do their business. And it's all a scam, one big scam. They use the fear and the lack of money to control people. And what they do is they sell you this prosperity gospel telling you, if you believe in God to support you, send your money, send your money, and God will multiply the money, give you a blessing. It's a lie. And I got out of the church. This was way back in 2005. I was a member of Creflo Dollar's church from 1995 all the way up to about 2005. I started my YouTube platform, not this one, but my original one in 2006, the Ringo for Life channel. I started that in 2006, and then I started to expose all of these preachers, and the first one was Creflo Dollar. And I exposed all of them: T.D. Snakes, Benny Sin, Kenneth Copeland, or Kenneth Hopeland, or whatever you want to call his name. All of the TBN, the Trash Broadcaster Network pulpit pimps. The Jesse Duplanises, the Eddie Longs of that day before the Most High took him out for having sexual relations with them boys in the church. He was touching the young boys' butts in the church, and God had to get rid of him. And so I'm fully aware of what's going on. Those guys do not care about the economy and the poor. They only care about their Rolls Royce and their designer clothes. And now on YouTube, you got a lot of them now. A lot of pimps and false prophets. You have this one guy named Prophet Lovey. He's a false prophet. All he do is prophesy, prophet. We have a man over here. He was disabled for 20 years. Prophesy. What is this garbage? And people follow this mess. Then you have that other guy who here remember Kearney Thomas? Who here remember Kearney Thomas, man? I ain't gonna hold you. Even though Kearney Thomas is with all that religious stuff, Kearney Thomas is mad entertainment. Put a one in the chat if you know about Kearney Thomas. He be like, and God gave you a miracle. Here's your prayer hamburgers. And God will give you a miracle. Yo, that guy is hilarious, bro. That guy is hilarious, man. He would literally keep you tuning in, listening to that garbage, bro. Like, for real, just search up Kearney Thomas funny moments. You'll be laughing like never before, fam. For real.
Houses are going to go up another 30% because they never fixed the housing problem before they started lowering interest rates. And now we're going to see a great melt up. We're going to see it in the stock market. We're going to see it all over the place. Because,
fam, I've learned just to stop worrying. If there's any advice you could get from this, guys, whether you are a working class man or woman, whether you're going through the struggle, whether you good right now, you financially stable, you ain't worried about nothing, you're pretty much on the hill somewhere while everybody's flooded, it doesn't matter. I've learned that in today's day, in order for me to be at peace, number one, I roll completely solo. I get rid of all negative people. I just like my solitude. I like being, peaceful, alone. I don't like being talkative too much around people in public. And I just don't worry no more. I stopped worrying. I don't worry. I don't fret myself about things that is out of my control. If the federal government is down and they shut down the system, what could you do? Stop worrying about it. Figure something out. Smile a little bit. Make a cup of tea. Go get a case of beer. Sit on your porch and drink a cold one in your rocking chair and just rock yourself and just chill and just maintain and just be at peace, man. Talk to God while you're drinking a beer. At the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do to get through. You know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do to get through. Sitting around worrying all day, crying, crashing out, ready to commit crimes, that's not the way. So to all you folks out there that are prepared to risk it all, don't do it. Don't do it. And stop recording yourself on social media telling the feds that you're about to commit a crime, because that tape will be played in the court of law.
Politicians know it's easier to print money, and people don't understand printing money, things getting more expensive, than crashing a market and then getting voted out. So they're going to just melt it up. And I keep saying this, that things are going to get more expensive. That loaf of bread is going to go up.
See, I get what he's saying. You know, prices are going to go up, guys, but we can't sit here and keep worrying, man. We got to live within our means, guys. Look, all jokes aside, this is real talk, guys. All of us want to survive, man. Whether you disagree with me, whether you don't like my content, whether you hate my hat, all of us want to survive, man. We just want to live. That's all we want to do, man. We go to work, we pay our bills. We just want to survive, man. We don't want to be suffering all day long, man. But I get it. People are going to suffer. Some of us worse than others. Some of you got it good, but you had your day when you suffered. Stop worrying. If there's anything you could do, stop worrying. Find something to smile about. Find something to smile about. Go get yourself a 6-pack of some cold ones, bro, and put them things in the freezer. You're going to need them. You're going to need them, bro. When I feel down, when I'm down and out, guys, like this is my rocking chair right here, right? When I'm down and out, I get my cold Heineken or my Corona beer. Make sure that thing is ice cold. I go put my chair in front of the yard, crack that beer open, and I just be chilling, bro. Get my mind at ease. It kind of renew my mind, get some fresh air, and just relax, bro. Just kind of try to figure it out. Because when you're going through, it can be a rough patch to be in. Because I don't got nobody to call. You know what I'm saying? I don't deal with my family. I don't got no friends. So it's like, I just got to just depend on what I can do. So you got to get your mind right. You got to be able to do something that's therapeutic to keep you sane so you don't lose it. A lot of people going to be losing it. And you don't want to end up in the penitentiary if you're already down bad. You know? You don't want to do that. Let me see. Yeah, you got to stop worrying so much. You got to stop all of that stuff. You know, let me see what we got. Shout out to Major for the support. Major General. Shout out to you for the support. Says make more, spend less. Own things that you can use. Yeah, man. That's a whole sermon right there, fam. Make more, spend less. Listen, guys, if you can understand what it means to live within your means, living within your means, you got to decide today. Starting from today, I'm living within my means. Meaning, I'm only spending money when it's necessary to spend it. If I don't, I'm not doing it. Forget about going out to buy burgers. Forget about going out to buy fast food. Instead of buying that, how about making it at home? You know, get the ground beef, do what you got to do. Get some of those pre-made patties, whatever the case is. Throw them things on the grill. It is what it is. Get yourself some cheese, whatever, the bread. Boom, you got some fries. Make your own. At least you got more. You got more food, more supply if you just buy it from scratch and make it yourself, rather than going to these stores spending all this money. It's a lot of money we spend, man. Some of y'all be eating out every night. Uber Eats, deliveries, every night. That's expensive. You know what I mean? So you got to live within your means, man. You know, I used to buy sneakers all the time. Jordans every minute. Jordan, 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 Jordan. Man, I'm talking about probably like, damn, like 6 times a month, bro. Like no cap. 6 or 7 times a month. I used to buy Jordans, Dunks, every minute. 2, 3 pairs every month. I stopped all of that, fam. I don't need no more kicks, bro. I don't need no more kicks. I don't need no more, bro. I ain't doing it. You know? Because why? It's expensive. So you got to cut back on certain things that you do to save money monthly. You got to look at your monthly expenses and write them down. In other words, hey, this is how much money I make in a month. Okay, how much money is leaving my checking account every month? You got to monitor that. If you're bringing in a certain amount, it's coming in, and you're spending more than you're bringing in, you got a problem. You got to get that under control and nip it in the bud right away. If you're only bringing in this amount, this is why you got to budget and you got to do some accounting in your life. A lot of us just not doing that. We just get paid, spend, and you're not monitoring what you're spending. You got to monitor that. That will give you the options to look at where you're losing and begin to minimize the problem by deducting those expenses that's just unnecessary. And now calculate all those expenses that you're wasting money. Look how much money you'll be saving monthly if you just do these adjustments. It'll save you a lot of time and money, guys.
Is going to go up. If in 2 to 5 years from now, things have gone up 50% or more, what would your life be like? Start preparing now for it.
I realize that there's so many people talking about the food stamp cut that's going on as far as like people not getting their food stamps for the month of November. But what I'm going to say is probably not going to benefit you or change the narrative of what's going on for the month of November. But what I am going to say is that you guys realize that around the first of the month, when the majority of people get their food stamps around the first of the month. Not everybody. Some people get them like on the 3rd, the 15th. It all depends. I don't know if it goes by your last name or what. But majority, if not all of these grocery stores around the U.S., they depend on those billions of dollars worth of food stamps to come in every single month.
It's true. There is a theory that the entitlement programs keep the government growing and afloat.
You said, why? What? Why are you showing me a laptop? Maybe you're slow, but we are reacting to a video. I don't know if you graduated high school. Maybe you didn't. But this is what people do. Whether they're showing you a cell phone or a laptop. I don't have to show you the laptop. I could just let you listen.
If you cut off the entitlements, the food stamps, the EBT, all these things, many of these corporations would go.
It don't seem good that way. It's better when you can show
down in value, because that's what's keeping the whole machine going. You print money, you push it out in entitlement programs, you start a war, you push the dollars out, and things slowly creep up instead of exploding in price. And they just keep the velocity of money going.
They prep for it every month at their grocery store. That's why when you go into a store around the first of the month, you see fresh grapes. Everything looks so fresh and pretty because they know that it's going to leave those shelves quick.
And that's true. That is true what he's saying. It's going to leave the store. It's going to leave them shelves quick.
You guys realize, even if it's just the month of November and people don't get their food stamps, do you know how bad that's going to hurt the grocery stores? All those turkeys that's come up from all those farms that's going to sit there, millions of turkeys. They want to get that stuff away. They can't let it just sit there and spoil. All that meat that sits there, guys, they have to mark.
He said all that meat. Pause, just in case.
That meat down and give it to you and sell it to you for discounted prices.
I want to know your thoughts down below on this. I think the first wave, they're going to write it off. Like insurance, write it off. If you've gone to the back of a food store, you know, when they're getting rid of product, like I've seen Target throw away semi-trucks full of food, milk.
People going to be dumpster diving, if you think about it. And in some cases, they don't even like when people do that type of stuff. And they used to have areas where you could just literally go take the stuff out the trash. Now they hide when they dump stuff so people can't find the goods. But they be throwing away brand new stuff, just throwing it away. literally. And people used to always go get it and get free supply.
Stuff like that, when their refrigerators go out, they'll just throw it away. And many a times they try to keep the price up by throwing it away, and they just write the loss off as a tax loss or an insurance loss or a theft loss, and it keeps prices up. So I think the first couple of waves, I think they're going to take it on the chin, and then they're going to ask the
whoa, take it on the chin. Pause. Hey, yo.
Government to bail them out. They're going to pressure the politicians to bail them out, and they're going to keep prices up, and they're going to keep going, and they're going to fix this by keeping the entitlement program going, printing more money. Rarely do I see them mass just selling off an entire supermarket because of a politician and a policy. All that will be reversed. I think that the thoughts of this will pressure politicians into fixing it.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your trust in Jesus Christ, man. Like, seriously. I know we've been on for a minute now. We've been on for about 2 hours and some change. You really got to put your trust in God, fam. Like, for real, for real. You know, it's one thing to be involved in politics, whether you're a liberal or conservative, you know what I mean, Republican, Democrat. I get the whole game, the politics game. At the end of the day, you need to have your faith in God, fam. When times get really, really rough and the government let you down, you're gonna have a new outlook on life. And it should prompt you to want to do something now to better yourself. I look at things like this, guys. Now, this is just me personally. I want y'all to hear my heart. For real, for real. I'm 48 years young. I'm not planning on dying soon. So listen to me very carefully. When I look at the world through the lens of a 48-year young man, I'm looking at the future and I'm saying to myself, I'm 48 and I'm looking ahead and I'm like, life is short. It's not enough time. You gotta live your life, people. Live your life. Stop waiting for this perfect day to live. Live your life now. Have your fun now. Enjoy that trip now. Buy that thing you always wanted to get now. Don't wait. Time is so short. When I look into the future, I'm like, dag, I'm 48. 10 years, I'll be 58. Wow, time flew by. Then I'll be 68. What will life be then? So I got to prepare for that now. I got to start thinking ahead of time. Those of you that are viewing that might be in your 50s, there's some things you could probably teach me. Those of you that are in your 60s, there's wisdom that you have that you could prepare people and be like, hey, at 60, this is what you can expect. And you know the information. So what I'm saying is a lot of times we got to prepare for the future. We got to prepare. Right now, people cracking jokes. Some people are crashing out. But people are really going to be struggling and suffering. And it's not just able-bodied people who are using the system committing fraud. You got people that work regular jobs and they depend on these benefits too. And if they don't get them, they got to use their paycheck money to go buy these groceries. Or they may be able to buy some, but not really eat the way they would like to. It is what it is. You're going to have to live within your means. Like I said, man, get more rice, some beans. Listen, if you black, I already know you know how to survive. If you black, I don't got to tell you how to survive. If you black, put a 1 in the chat to let me know that you know how to survive when it comes to what to eat. in terms of food. You know how to shop already. If you black and you are in your 40s and 50s, I already know you know how to survive. You already know what to do. You know what to do already. I don't even have to tell you. You know how to go to that supermarket and make your money stretch and get other things to get you through. Now, I know a lot of us, we want to buy the fancy foods, the snacks, and all of that. You're going to have to cut them snacks for next month. You're going to have to cut that. And those of you that may end up getting your benefit, you're going to have to use that thing wisely, man. You're going to have to use that wisely. You know, when I shop, I spend nothing but cash. I'm not on no assistance, no programs, none of that stuff. You understand? I spend hard-earned cash every single time. Do I like spending all that money? No. But I got to do what I got to do. I got to do what I got to do. And it's not cheap. It's not cheap. It's a lot of money. I made videos that you can find on my channel where you see me in the supermarkets at the register. And I'm like, bruh, you see how much money I got to spend? And I be showing people. And they be like, damn, bro, that's crazy. Mad expensive. And people been telling me, they was like, yo, you need to stop shopping at that store and go to Sam's Club and you know, do this and that, you know? But, yeah, let's get back to the content. Let me do this real quick. Let's go.
Hopefully he's not right, and there is a possibility. Law of supply and demand says he's right. But I know the law of politicians and corporations and tax write-offs and things like that, they'll just write it off as waste or loss until it gets really bad.
Only people with cash is going to be able to afford that food. You guys realize how bad it's going to hurt the meat producers, the butchers, the farmers, the people who produce the vegetables and everything. So this is way bigger than you guys think. A lot of people was thinking, well, Thanksgiving's going to be bad. It could be bad if people don't get their food stamps because they're dependent on it. But just think about how big of a freaking disaster it's going to be on our economy, man. All it's going to take is just 1 month of people not getting their food stamps, and watch what happens in those grocery stores. Those meat prices is going to drop. Those vegetable prices is going to drop. Those fruit prices.
See, I just don't think they're going to drop, because if you saw what would happen to the supply chain, to the granaries, to the cattle farmers, to the banknotes of the land for the cattle farms, for the farmers, these things would collapse.
I mean, these supermarkets need the EBT too to stay afloat. So even though people might be suffering, at the same time, these stores suffer too. Everybody suffers. It's not just the people who can't get the food. These stores want you to get the food. So they suffer too. There's no winners when you really think about it. The stores want to sell these products and services. And if you're unable to get it, it's going to be a lot of stuff on them shelves, which mean those of you that spend cash to buy food for your families, you're going to be able to buy more now, because the stuff that normally sells out, you'll have first dabs, because nobody won't be able to get it.
And I think politicians will prop it up.
Churches ain't giving nothing. And if they give food, they're giving spoiled food. They ain't giving you the good stuff.
And they'll prop it up in Congress. I hope it doesn't come down to that. But the entitlement program, I just see that SNAP and EBT had to be reformed. People were on it for too long, and they were surviving off of it and never trying to get off of it. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know.
The government shutdown is not stopping people from receiving their food stamp benefits. You all, what's really going on is a power play with the government. So what the Trump administration done was requested data from the states from all the way back in 2020. You all know when the bat bug was going around, and a lot of people had to get SNAP benefits and food stamp benefits because of that emergency. So what the Trump administration is doing is requesting all of the SNAP data from people who receive those benefits from all the way back from 2020. So we all know that the blue states, they don't want to comply with the Trump administration. Now the red states gave this information over with no problem. But what the blue states did, they refused. They said that it was giving out too much info when they used to just collect data. They want all of the personal info now. So the blue states are refusing to do that. So what's happening right now is really a power play with the government, and they playing with y'all food. But I say this to say,
if the government is playing with your food, shouldn't that tell you that you need to stop putting your trust in the system? I understand politics, the roles of government, presidents, mayors, governors, all these elected officials. I get all of that information. At the same time, when it's affecting your food, it gets serious. You get it? This is affecting your family, and you're allowing it. They're not doing this to you. You gave them that power when you signed up. When you signed up for those benefits, you told the government, I want you to be my master. You're my Lord and Savior. Therefore, I will submit to you. That's what you did. No matter how you see it, you have submitted to the government. And those of you who are biblically sound in terms of the end times, it speaks of the mark of the beast and how there will be a one world government, and they will cause both small and great, rich and poor, to take the mark of the beast. You won't be able to buy or sell, or in modern day vernacular, you won't be able to buy groceries, save you have that mark. So when you look at days like this, where people are desperate for their food and their benefits, they will comply and take the mark of the beast. They will. And sometimes when these type of things happen, it could be a foreshadowing of things to come. It may not be the end times of the mark of the beast, but it could be a foreshadowing of things to come in terms of if the people are this vulnerable. Think about the state you're in right now. Those of you that are really dependent on the system, it's dangerous. And you're most likely going to take the mark of the beast. You will comply in that day. And if the government command you to do something right now, you'll do it even if you don't want to, if it means you'll be able to eat. Because you don't want to resort to committing crime and robbing and stealing. That's going to cause you to lose your freedom, which was going to put you in a mess. Now your family going to really be in problems. So the best thing you could do right now, rather than waiting to see what the government do, get on out there and try to make something happen. I don't know what you do. I don't know what your skill sets are, because a lot of people have been dependent on these benefits. And I'm talking about the people that don't work. Those of you that work, get something else. See who's hiring. It may be tough. You may have to get less sleep. Ask around. Ask some of your buddies. Hey, bro, I need a job, bro, like ASAP. You got anything opening at your company? Hey, bro. Hey, I need a job now, bro. Like yesterday, I need a job. All right, I see what I can do. You never know. I've seen people get jobs overnight. I've seen people lose a job, and the next day they had a job. They were not playing, man. They went out there, they hustled, they made moves. It was like, I'll be damned if I'm going to be hungry, bro. Worst thing in the world is to be hungry. It's the worst feeling ever, is to be hungry.
Give someone the sole authority to feed you. You give them the sole authority to starve you.
Right.
If you're one of those people that has been dependent on food stamps your entire life to feed yourself and your children, and you have no other means to do that, to feed your family, then you may be a part of the problem. You should never give nobody that much authority to starve you.
There you go.
At all.
Right.
So what do you all think about this? What do y'all think about what's going on with the government?
She's right, and I'm pretty sure he's going to say the same thing.
Got some points.
There you go. She got some points, and she's right. The part that stuck out to me is the part about you giving them the power to starve you. That's exactly what you're doing. That's why I'm saying you could get mad at Trump all you want. It's really not his fault. When you really think about it, it's a collective situation between both parties. That's what's really the issue here. And it's more towards the left if you really think about it. If you really do your math, it's coming from them, but nobody wants to admit it. So they're looking for somebody to blame. They blaming Trump. No. First person you got to blame is yourself, because you put yourself in that position when you gave them that power. It's no different than when a woman and a man have a dispute regarding the children, and you go to these courts and you let the courts get involved. Once you do that, now it's a third party situation. They're going to render judgment. And maybe it may not be in your favor as a woman. I've seen that happen where women brought men to court for various things. The judge looked at the circumstances and ended up favoring the husband or the man or the baby daddy. And the woman get pissed. So when you give people that power over your situation and they end up judging, you can't complain. You open that door. When you get married by the state, the government is now a part of your marriage. When you go to child support court, you bring the courts in your family now. Y'all could have handled that situation in the house. But once you bring the courts in, it gets different now. It's more serious because you gave them that power. So when you relinquish power and you tell the government, hey, I want to sign up for this program. Now, when the government shut down, it shut down your benefits too. You signed up. So now you're being starved out. Think about this. All the politicians, they're not starving. And for those of you that are saying stuff like, well, certain politicians or government folk, they're not getting paid either and all this other stuff. Fam, they already got money. They're not worried about money. They're not worried about, oh, I'm not getting paid now. They got money. They got money. They got resources. They good. They good for a couple of years. They got money. They're not worried about none of this stuff. And it's just something that people are just not getting. So they're looking for somebody to blame. I'm tired of people blaming Trump for this, blaming him for that, blaming everybody else. We got to blame ourselves. Can we look in the mirror and blame ourselves? Blame yourself. You put yourself in that situation. Ladies, if you get with a man and you didn't do your due diligence to background check him, find out about his criminal history, find out if he beat women and abused babies, or if he's a pedophile, and then you later found out that the man that you were madly in love with the whole time, he was a pedophile, or he beat women, and then he beat your ass, and you learned the hard way, you got to blame yourself for that one because you didn't vet this man. You didn't get to know this man. You just got with him because you figured he got a nice car and he's handsome. But you didn't know that he's a convicted felon. He's a registered sex offender. You didn't know any of these things about him because you didn't do no research. That's exactly what it's like when you sign up for these programs. You're giving power to someone else to possibly harm your life, unfortunately.
Everybody's got some points. Everybody's got a thought that it's going to affect somebody they know or love. And whether you are...
I got family members that are affected by this. I got family members that are affected by this situation. You see what I mean? So we all got family that's going to be affected by this situation. And for most of us, it's easy to say stuff like family should take care of family. That might be true. Family should take care of family. But I'm going to be real with you, man. A lot of us can't even afford to take care of our family if they need something. Unfortunately, a lot of us just don't got it like that to take care of our family members if they need something. You could hardly take care of yourself.
Saying it's hurting the government's budget or it's hurting people's stomachs. We got to figure this out. The only way we understand this and the only way we get better at this is the discourse in the comment section below. I want to know good, bad, ugly. But if you are in a situation of looking at EBT or SNAP being cut off, start forward planning. Start thinking about the children right now. If you're looking for baby formula, plan ahead. Stop.
I disagree with that baby formula. I agree with the advice he's given in the beginning part, but the baby formula thing, ladies, breastfeed your babies, and you don't have to worry about formula. I know it's a lot of work. Get a breast pump. Get these items going. They got the automated ones where you just kind of put it on your breast, and it literally extracts the milk for you. And, you know, you can put it in the fridge, you know, not forever now, but it can work, and you pretty much don't have to be there breastfeeding all day for hours and hours and hours and hours. So you got to be proactive and get to work.
Sum up, put a little money aside. Do not rely on the government for anything.
Facts. That's definitely, that's good advice. He's definitely true. You know what I mean? You could support your political party. You could be involved in politics. You could do all of that type of stuff because we do live in the world. We do need to understand what's going on, where the money's going. You know, we have to understand all of these things. I know a lot of people, they be like, well, I'm not into this. I'm not into that. I don't care about this, left, right. I'm not. Do you see what's going on in the world? Okay, it have to do with all of that stuff too. And guess what? For those folks that be talking all that crap about, well, I'm not into none of that political stuff. I don't care about none of that stuff. Okay, let's talk about your 401k. Let's talk about your medical. Let's talk about your insurance. Let's talk about your premiums. It all goes right back to politics. The topic you don't care about. And you wondering why you're struggling.
For anything. I know it's hard, but the government uses that against you, whether you notice it or you don't. It is one of those things that whoever is in office controls your destiny. That's why I've always said on this channel that you always have an emergency fund. You always plan for the future. You always start looking for different ways.
People keep asking me why I'm supporting Trump. I support America being great again. I'm doing my part. See, if you folks would stop being negative and start being positive, your life would be in a better position. There's too much hate and evil in the world at this moment. Too many of us are evil at this point. We're being very wicked. We're not being proactive. We're just blaming everybody for our problems. This is why I decided to roll solo, not have no friends, and protect my peace. And I'm doing my part as a man, as an American man, to make America great again. And if we got to do it one video at a time, we're going to do it. And we're going to speak truth. We're going to talk about real issues. And hopefully people wake up to the reality of what's going on. Donald Trump is our president right now. And whether you agree with him or not, he have a job to do. And if something broke forth in this world right now, a terror attack, or even the situation that's going on right now, a lot of y'all are looking for Trump to do certain things to make it happen, to fix the problem. We don't know what's coming down the pipeline. We don't know what's to come. But hating your president all day long is crazy. You're in America, dog. Like, I get it. You may not agree with everything. You got to look at the good, because the good will always outweigh the bad. But if you're just looking for negativity all day and you're just running with the sheeples, you know, wanting to attack like all these people with this no kings parade and no kings protest, it's sick. It's like, while everybody's doing all of that, people could have been out there trying to get a job. But instead, they're protesting, wasting money, resources on nothing. The entire protest was a waste of time, a waste of money. Literally. A one big distraction. And then in the process, we got people crashing out over their food now. Come on, man. We got to focus on what's important.
Take care of your family and improving yourself and coming into some new ideas to make money and make a living. And you plan for these situations because sooner or later, there's going to be a bad time that you're going to have to prosper through. And I remember during COVID when we had to drive all the way to Mobile just to get 2 things of baby formula for our son. And they would only let you have 2. And
imagine that. He had to go drive to go get baby formula, guys. Like, again, women are supposed to be breastfeeding, not buying these expensive formulas, $60-something a can. That's crazy, y'all.
You got back and you used it. It was time to go looking for some more. And it was scary to think your little child has to have that formula. There's no other way for them to survive, especially if you can't breastfeed or you're a new mother and you're struggling. And it's really hard to make that stuff. And you can't switch mid-phase or it can wind up being detrimental to them. And this is what really aggravates me about the whole situation. The politicians plays puppet master with our lives. And it shouldn't be that way. They shouldn't be able to shut down the government. They should do their jobs and come to agreements and politic because they're politicians. But that's all I got, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment down below. I want to know your thoughts. This is a very interesting one, and we're going to see what happens here really soon because these politicians have yet to figure out what's going on. See you guys later.
This last video clip, guys, is possibly the saddest part because these are the people that really are affected by what's going on. This clip here, let me get this video on the screen. Let's play this tape, guys.
All these people that we are talking about who have an audacity to cut how we live and how we eat. Who are these people? Are they real people? Say, we're going to cut this, we're going to take this. Do they eat? Are they well off? They cannot be older adults and expect for us to exist and do this and do that. I would like to know who they are. Who are these people that we are talking about who have an audacity to cut how we live and how we eat? Who are these people? Are they real people? Say, we're going to cut this, we're going to take this. Do they eat? Are they well off? They cannot be older adults and expect for us to exist and do this and do that. I would like to know who they are.
Now, think about it. The elderly should always be taken care of. They lived their life. They gave their life. They did a lot. So the elderly should always be taken care of. Our disabled, our vets who are struggling, not the ones that are good, the ones that are struggling, right? They should be taken care of. So when we have these government shutdowns and all this other mess, it affects all of them too. They get thrown into the pot. And also those of you that got 9-to-5 jobs that might be, you know, not where you want to be in life. If benefits is what you need to get through, then it should be given to you. You know, not for a lifestyle, to get you through. Not for a lifestyle. Because as long as you're working and you're showing the effort, like, hey, I'm a working person. I just can't afford to buy these groceries, dog. Like, for real. I'm not out here begging for handouts and all this goofy stuff. I'm really out here trying to win and get my life in order, but it is expensive, dog. So yeah, you know, if you had to get a couple of, you know, some assistance, that's cool. At the same time, I feel that the elderly, the disabled, and our vets, they come first. I get you might have needs, but when we look at this situation, them folks come first. Now, if a person is an able body and they just laying up all day at home, not wanting to work, that person don't deserve nothing. They don't deserve nothing, man. There needs to be laws in place that says In order for you to even get this stuff, you need to work. I don't believe that a person is a damn bum and they collecting public assistance and EBT cards and Section 8 and they don't got no job. No, it should only be given to people that actually have an effort of them working. Not just sitting on your damn ASS all day. Imagine that, fam. Somebody collecting $2,000, bro, in stamps because they got a pile of kids and they don't even work. They don't even work. They collecting $2,000, man. They eating good, real good. All off the taxpayers, man. And you wondering why people be upset. The reason why taxpayers are upset with people that live off the system is because that money coming out of your taxes, man. You're literally slaving on your job while somebody else is out there just living for free, having a good time. And you're struggling. Because just because you have a job doesn't mean you good. You could have a job and still be struggling to pay your bills, struggling to pay your rent. I know all about the struggle, guys. When I tell y'all, I have been very transparent with my viewers. If you watch my videos, I'm always telling you guys about the things that I've been through. I've been through some real struggles, man, that I don't ever want to go through them struggles no more, man. I don't ever want to go through those struggles, man. When you just, it's the worst place to be in. Because it's like, you look at everybody else chilling, everybody else is doing good. At least that's how it seems. And you're going through all sorts of hell and hot waters. You just be like, you can't give up though, man. You can't give up, man. That's why you have to prevent yourself from crashing out and find something positive to think about to help you, to motivate yourself to think, you know? Because if not, man, you're going to find yourself in a penitentiary. It's going to be one bad situation. Now it's really, really bad because now you got arrested. Could you handle that at your age? It's not worth it, man. So, guys, we're going to pretty much get up on out of here. Let's get the likes to 1,000. We got about 561 likes. Double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up. Let's get the likes to 1,000 before we get on out of here, guys. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. We need your support. We can't do this without you. I'm very humbled and grateful and thankful that you guys even chose to view my platform. Even the trolls that come over here to troll me and talk crap about me and you know, just do whatever y'all do. I'm very appreciative of the people that actually stop by. Hopefully something I said in these streams motivated you, stimulated thought, made you a better person, made you see things from a different angle. Yeah, man. Coming next month, we're going to find out what's really going to happen, man. Again, if you live in a Second Amendment state, make sure you have your pow with you, not in your car, on your person, right? When you out and about in these streets, make sure you're good to go, because I really believe that with all of the drama that's going on social media, somebody's going to crash out. And if it's in your area, like I said, God forbid nothing happen. People behave themselves. But just be ready. Be ready. Because I don't even want to say nothing, man. Like, for real, because, you know, I'm recording. You know what I'm saying? It's a live stream. So I'm just going to kind of just leave it alone. But I tell you, man, we're going to hear about that, bro. Come in November, we're going to hear about whatever go down. Somebody's going to crash out, guys. Somebody's going to do it, bro. And ain't no telling what they're going to do. So be prepared, right? So y'all be safe. Peace and blessings to the mods in the chat. Caramel Kimmy Kim. Shout out to Forever Studios. I seen your memberships that you had gifted everybody earlier in the stream. I didn't forget. I seen it out there, so shout out to you. Shout out to all the Trump supporters. Shout out to everybody out there that believe in making America great again. And shout out to the poor, who will always be there, because even the Messiah, Jesus Christ, said the poor you will have always with you, which means there will always be poor people. No matter what. No matter what, there will always be somebody that's poor. So y'all have a blessed night, blessed day wherever you are in the world. If you're on the road driving, drive safe. Shout out to all my truckers on the road. Salute to y'all. And that's about it, man. Everybody in the parking lots, all the security guards, you know, the guys that are in hotels, at the reception area, the desk. Shout out to all you in the late night shift, the graveyard shift workers. Shout out to all of y'all out there on the hustle and bustle. So, hey, we'll get up on out of here, man. Peace. I'm out of here, guys. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to subscribe, guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe right now. Double tap the screen and give it a thumbs up. We out. Peace.